the nameplate with the most models comes yet more. On this edition of Test Drive, the Porsche 911 GTS. As if there were not enough 911s to go around, Porsche has added 5 versions of the GTS, along with an exclusive model and the 700 horsepower GT2 RS. This brings the total number of models to 22. The GTS is offered all ways, 2- and 4-wheel drive, coupe and convertible, as well as the Targa. In other words, there's one ideally suited for just about any shopper. The cabin of this GTS is all about the driver. The right information in the right place, the controls in the right place, and fantastic seats. There's also an intriguing app. It allows you to go to the racetrack and record a hot lap, and it overlays all of the information from the vehicle onto that video. Go back to the pit, study your lap, and then you go back out onto the track. It's a very good way of learning how to get the very best out of this car. At the heart of the Carrera 4 GTS is a 3-litre twin-turbo flat 6 that pushes 450 horsepower, which is up 20 from the previous model. It also gives the driver access to a meaty 405 pound-feet of torque at 2150 RPM. Yes, the power increases are modest, but they do make a discernible difference to the manner in which the GTS drives. Now, right about now, we'd be showing you a pretty picture of the engine that makes this 911 GTS so quick, but it's buried down here. Now, if you nail the gas, you get to 100k in just 2.4 seconds. It's time to lift or suffer the consequences, because this car just keeps piling on the speed. The tester's power was relayed through all 4 wheels and one sweet 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox. There is a manual, but the PDK is the better choice. The combination sees the GTS blast off the line without any wheel spin, which means that every ounce of work goes into the motivation. Of course, the fact the combination transforms the 911 from a fair-weather friend to a year-round ride with poise and balance, even on the slickest road, makes the Carrera 4 the ideal car for Canadian winters. Now, this GTS comes with a mode selector on the steering wheel. It gives you access to normal, sport, sport plus and individual. Each one of the modes alters the way this car drives and feels. When you're running around town, you use normal. Find a twisty road and you select sport. When you get to the racetrack, into sport plus and use the launch control. It all comes together very nicely. Porsche's active suspension is standard on all GTS models, which means the right damping characteristics regardless of the driving conditions. Throw in the perfect steering feel, torque vectoring, monster 245/35 R20 front and 305/30 R20 rear tyres, and the GTS ate the pylon test for breakfast. The other item worthy of note is the rear wheel steering option. At speeds below 50 kilometers an hour, it turns the rear wheels in the opposite direction to the fronts, which shortens the turning circle. Above 80k, it turns them in the same direction, which brings laser-like precision. You know, some will argue that the changes to this new GTS are small in nature, but for my money, they make a richer and certainly faster driving experience. So much so, I think this GTS is the pick of the 911 bunch.